Hello everybody, welcome back. I actually just realized that my last video was strawberry picking and now I'm blueberry picking. So you can see what I like to do in my spare time. I had a really good time. There's actually a berry company right down the street from where I live. So I decided to go. It's so close and I'm so sad that I didn't take advantage of it more because it is a really limited season for blueberries. I want to say it's only open for like 2 months, and as of today with the video going up it is actually closed. So I'm glad that we at least got to squeeze in one day to pick blueberries, but it was super fun. And like I said when I went strawberry picking, you would not believe how much better these blueberries taste when you pick them straight from their tree than any store-bought one. It is ridiculous, and I really encourage you guys to just look up different farms and local farmers who sell their products because it is so much better. Love deeper than the blue that you see now, way above all the seas with our wings out. Good times, yeah, we got them on speed dial, sun shining through. So I totally forgot to add this onto the recipe card, but we're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of butter. We're just going to turn on the stove and we're going to coat the bottom of our pot with butter so that nothing gets stuck or burnt. Then we're going to go ahead and add a pint of blueberries. Next up, we are going to add a 1/4 cup of water. I would go slowly with the water. The original recipe actually called for an entire cup of water, which I did, and my berry compote actually came out way too runny. So I adjusted it for you guys so that your cookies wouldn't get too messy. After the 1/4 cup of water, you add a 1/4 cup of sugar, and you're going to squeeze 1 lemon. I started out with half, and then I added a little more until eventually it was an entire lemon, and I found that that tasted a lot better than just half. Now we're going to add some cornstarch. If you do not have cornstarch, for every 1 teaspoon of cornstarch you can substitute 3 teaspoons of flour. And then after that you add a pinch of salt and a teaspoon of cinnamon. I just kind of eyeballed the cinnamon. I really love cinnamon, so I go a little heavy-handed with that. I wanted to show you what it looked like when it was first simmering. So you see the berries are still whole. Eventually they will kind of break apart and turn into a jam consistency, and that'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. And in the meantime, you're gonna cut out your crusts. I had the ring of a mason jar to like seal the lid, and then I had a sort of scalloped cookie cutter shape. You can use a plain circular cookie cutter if you have one. You can actually just flip a cup upside down if you don't have either of these. Your cookies can really be any shape so long as you can seal the edges. And you are going to need 2 circles per pie cookie, so that's why you do need both crusts in your package, or if you make your crust from scratch, you're going to have to make a double batch so that you have enough. Now that we have all our circles cut out, you are going to lay them down on a cookie sheet. Instead of greasing a sheet, I just put down a piece of parchment paper, and now I'm going to grab another 1/4 cup of water, and I'm just going to use this water to dip my finger into and then circle around the edge of each crust. And what this is going to do is the water is actually going to help the two crusts stick together and seal really well so that the jam stays inside of your pie cookie while it's baking. Now that I've finished that up with all of my crusts, I just grabbed a spoon and I'm going to go ahead and put a little spoonful in the middle of each of the crusts. As you can see, my jam spreads out really quick, which means it's really runny, but that's why I do these recipes. So mine wasn't perfect, but hopefully yours will be with the changes that I made.
Buzzing, and we're humming, and we're loving all day. Flying high like the birds and the bees, and we're feeling alive while we float with the breeze. 'Cause we're buzzing, and we're humming, and we're loving all day. Yeah, feels good when I'm near you. I got the whole world in our rear view.
So at this point, I'm putting on their second crusts. They look like little hats to me. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay them on top. I'm not going to push down in the center at all because I don't want any of the jam to run out. And then I'm going to grab a fork and I'm just going to push down the fork around the edges to seal the crusts nice and tight. And if some of it seeps out like mine did, it's totally fine. They will still bake just fine.
Buzzing, and we're humming, and we're loving all day. Flying high like the birds and the bees, and we're feeling alive while we float with the breeze. 'Cause we're buzzing, and we're humming, and we're loving all day. Fly your wings when you're with me.
One of the last steps is to crack an egg and scramble it so that you can use it as an egg wash over the crust so that the crusts come out nice and brown and shiny. And then after you do the wash, I'm just scoring with a paring knife. I'm doing like a little X on top. You can totally skip this step if you want. You can do a different design on top. I just wanted them to look like classic little mini pies. So that's why I did the X on top.
Buzzing, and we're humming, and we're loving all day. Flying high like the birds and the bees, and we're feeling alive while we float with the breeze. 'Cause we're buzzing, and we're humming, and we're loving all day.
Once the crust is egg washed, it is actually really delicate and it can tear really easy. So don't press down too hard with the knife, and that should do it. Right after the egg wash and the scoring, you are just gonna grab some sugar and you're gonna sprinkle it on top so that it has a pretty effect when it comes out, and the slightly sugared top actually tastes really good with the tart blueberry on the inside. Now we're gonna pop these in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes or until the tops are nice and golden brown. I actually made these on the 4th of July, so I was way too full, but I definitely recommend putting a scoop of ice cream or some whipped cream on top, and they are delicious. That's it for these. I hope it was easy as pie, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye!
Spreading like I'm